Good morning, everyone. Okay, all you people out in the social hall, we're starting. Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in the heart of Las Cruces on this beautiful spring morning. I'm so glad to see everyone. I'm Sarah Benson. This is my husband, Doug, and we're going to start us off with a couple of songs. Oh, here they come.
World. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your love is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How deeply you're connected to my soul.
What a wonderful start. Thank you, wonderful Bensons. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in the heart of Las Cruces, where our vision is a world in loving partnership for the good of all. I'm Judy Hunt, your practitioner today. It is my pleasure. I'm grateful to see you all. Welcome to anyone visiting for the first time. And there's a visitor packet that's really cool with a bookstore coupon and everything, so be sure you get one. Don't know who I'm talking to for sure, but if there is one out there, I don't want to, make you stand up or do anything weird. And you can sign up in there to get on the newsletter, because that's where you find out all the awesome things that are going on in this place. Oh, good. There, it was you. Okay. Nailed you. We continue, you can tell, we're continuing to collect for the spring treasure sale, and that is coming April 20. So you notice the boxes are organized with labels. So as you bring your stuff in, don't wait for somebody else to sort it. Just go to the boxes, put the stuff in there as it suits. And hopefully people are signing up to help price and to help on the day of the sale. It's a big deal. We get a lot of people, and we make a good deal of money, so please support that activity. And the work goes on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday between 10 and 2. So if you come, there'll be a happy group of people to show you what to do, and you can enjoy your time with them. The weekend with Yolanda Martinez, the drum maker, has been postponed until June 29 and 30. We will still show the Ed Breeding documentary about her Friday evening, May 3rd. And hopefully, with that help, we'll get more people signed up for the drum making workshop. And you need to sign up for that by May 15th, or she's not going to do it. So sign up. It's going to be cool. Oh, really big thing on April 13th, Patty Taylor's celebration of life, and it's a memorial tea. So I've never done a memorial tea. It should be interesting. And we will gather here at the center at 11 to carpool down to Deb's in Anthony. So if you need a ride to the center, let the office know. And so I hope there'll be a lot of people. That's going to be a really lovely occasion. Then there's Reverend Bonnie Ellen Rice's celebration. Put that on the calendar as well. She was an enormous human on this planet, and I'm hoping for an enormous send-off. Sergio, if you caught his celebration of her with the song and the dance, he'll be doing that again. So if nothing else, show up for Sergio. And it will be available by Zoom. That'll be in the newsletter. So if you can't come, you can still see. We are also looking for someone who will come check our food bin weekly and take any food items collected to El Caldito. So let Reverend Bonnie know if you can do this, or if you want to coordinate volunteers to do it along with you. And if you happen to have a lot of working pens around your house, we can use them here, bring them to the office. You know how pens multiply when you set them in a box, so bring them on down here. Book Buddies starts on April 23rd. They're doing a great book, 4 Pivots. So really cool opportunity. Another cool opportunity that is so easy to do is the Spiritual Circle Zoom on Monday from 11 to 12. You don't have to go anywhere. You have your Science of Mind magazine, or online, or we'll read it to you. And we talk about cool spiritual things. So take your Sunday and expand it into Monday, because our whole practice here is expanding it to day. Mm-hmm. So here's just another opportunity. Doug and I are in there, so there's some awesome people available. And shout out to Jim Rogers, who is, of course, the awesome starter of the Spiritual Circle. So he can't be here today, but he probably will be there Monday. So please come join us. We have an awesome time. Today, there is a free gift for you in the bookstore. So check it out after the service. How about that? That's a surprise. I never read these things ahead of time, so it's all a surprise. Here at the Center for Spiritual Living, we believe in the power of prayer. That is what we teach, it's what we do, it's how we live. And we have a wonderful prayer circle that meets every Tuesday, and it's made up of all 4. Actually, now we have 5 new thought centers because Unity of El Paso is joining us. So we're just getting bigger and better. So on the back of the chairs in front of you or behind you, you will find prayer requests forms, please fill them out and let us know if there's anything we can provide prayer support for you during the week. It's a wonderful thing. And then when your prayers are answered, fill out the gratitude form that's also there and let us know how Spirit is working in your life. Thank you. We love doing it, so the more prayers, the better. You can't overload us. Now it's time for song, silence, and prayer.
Gentle with myself, I will be gentle with myself, and I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be gentle with myself, I will be gentle with myself, and I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will be tender with my heart, I will be tender with my heart, and I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. I will be easy on myself, I will be easy on myself, and I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. Oh, I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I am gentle with myself, I am gentle with myself, and I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will hold myself like a newborn baby child.
Gently, we relax into prayer, knowing that in gentleness and love and kindness, Spirit lives. We hold that beautiful space in our heart. We know our life is unfolding in divine order, and that gentle, loving touch is what we call for inside. And we know that it is always answered, always perfect, and always there. And so it is. There'll be a pause. I'm supposed to do a reading here. I left. And she's going to, the minister's going to fetch it for me. I'll be gentle. Woo. Wow. Just, woo. She sent it to me. She told me what it was. It's my job. I'll be gentle. Well, good thing I brought my glasses. Ha ha. I'm ready for something. Thank you. Yes, please. And tell me when to quit. Good. Well, that's interesting.
It's all right. It's all good. Perfect example of being gentle with yourself.
I'm trying to walk the talk.
Here to there.
Wonderful, thank you. It all works out. God does not condemn. How about that for a title? Is that perfect or what?
We planned it this way.
Yeah. And the Son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. But the father said to his servants, Bring forth the best robe, and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand, and shoes on his feet. And bring hither the fatted calf, and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. For this my son was dead, and is alive again. He was lost, and is found. And they began to be merry. The great lesson to learn here is that God never reproaches and never condemns. God did not say to the returning son, You miserable sinner, you are no more worthy to be called my son. He did not say, I will see what I can do about saving your lost soul. I will spill the blood of my most precious son in hopes that by this atonement your life may be made eternal. He did not say, You are a worm of the dust, and I will grind you under my feet, in order that you may know that I am God and the supreme power of the universe. No, and this is in big caps, God did not say any of these atrocious things. What the Father did say was, Bring forth quickly the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet. Here Jesus is showing that God is love and knows nothing about hate. And so it is.
We needed that.
Okay, Ken, roll. We're going to do I Hope You Dance, Leanne Womack's song. Yeah, you can get up and dance if you want. Sing along.
I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. That you're filled to eat, but never lose that hunger. May you never take a single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. When you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. Hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't just selling out, reconsider. Give the heavens above more than just a passing glance. When you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. When you get the choice to sit it out or dance. I hope you dance. Ooh, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. Ooh, I hope you dance.
Told her she was going to get me out of breath before I had to talk. Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Bonnie, the community spiritual leader here at the center, and my pronouns are she and her. And I'm going to drop this down just a tad. There we go. So, it was important that we do that reading, so thank you, Judy, because I'm starting off talking about that reading. The reading is Ernest Holmes' interpretation of the prodigal son, and it's out of Luke in the Christian scriptures. And the whole story, which I'm sure many of you know, I'm getting feedback. Ken, is there something to do about that? Or is it just, do you hear it or is it just me? Okay. All right. Ringing in my ears. I'll let it be. So the story of the prodigal son is that there is a gentleman that has lots of money, and one of his sons says, I want my half now. And he takes it and he leaves home, and he ends up squandering it. And he felt he'd sinned because he didn't spend it well. And he realized when he was all out of money, he thought, well, my father's servants are doing better than me. Why don't I go home and ask my dad if I can just be one of his servants? And then at least I'll have, better care than being out on the street. So that's why he said, I feel like I've sinned to you and to God. And when we look at that word and its actual original meaning, it means to miss the mark. It was an archery term. It means to miss the mark, like they made a mistake. And so he felt like he'd made a mistake. The key to that, though, was how did the father respond? Did he belittle him and shame him or blame him or punish him? He didn't. Instead, he celebrated his choice to turn around and come back home. And he honored him and he showed him love. And this month's topic is giant gentleness. And I thought of this story when I heard that title, because to me that's giant gentleness that the father showed to his son. And those words, giant gentleness, brought up two visuals for me. I think of giant as something big and bumbly. A giant in most of the stories was the villain until Shrek came along, and then he turned into a cuddly big giant. And gentleness, I think of something that we don't usually expect out of a giant. But then also giant can mean big and large. So large gentleness or big gentleness. And in the Science of Mind magazine, which is what Judy was talking about, you can discuss those articles on Mondays in their Sacred Circle. But in that magazine, under this heading for this month, they use trees as an example of giant gentleness. And this is a quote from Rachel Held Evans, A Year of Biblical Womanhood. Gentleness begins with strength. quietness with security. A great tree is both moved and unmoved, for it changes with the seasons, but its roots keep it anchored in the ground. Mastering a gentle and quiet spirit didn't mean changing my personality, just regaining control of it, growing strong enough to hold back and secure enough to soften. And so there's another example of what giant gentleness could be. And again, I thought the story of the prodigal son was a good example of that as well. And in my childhood, I had an early example of what that might look like. I used to babysit. That's how I made my 50 cents an hour with my first job. And I babysat most of the kids in the neighborhood. And one family had 2 boys. And before putting them to bed, the mother wanted me to get them to put all their toys away. And she was telling me this by demonstrating how she did it with them while she was teaching me what to do. And of course, the kids are tired and they just want to go to bed and they don't want to clean up. So they're grousing and fussing with her as she's saying, come on, put the stuff away. And then what she did is she sat down on the floor and she gathered one of them up in her arms and just hugged on him. And she said to me, I always ask myself, do they need lovin' or a lickin'? And I was like, because in my family, I don't think that question was asked too often. But she set the example of what I would consider giant gentleness. She said, usually it's they need lovin'. And sure enough, once he got his big hug and she gave him some love, he was ready to help put things away, and they got to go to bed. And so that's a question that's been in my head ever since she set that example for me. When I have people in my life or I see a situation and certain behaviors are taking place, maybe they're making bad choices or they're acting out, I'll ask myself, do they need lovin' or a lickin'? You get that it's spanking. When I first gave Judy that title in the office, she's like, what? And Sarah always shares with us Course in Miracles, and she said in Course in Miracles, it says, all is love or a call for love. And so the answer to that, do they need lovin' or a lickin', is usually they need love. It's a call for love. The behavior is needing more love. And so I think love can be expressed then as that giant gentleness. It's big and powerful, and yet it's also gentle. I don't know if any of you remember Cheech and Chong. Do you remember that? Okay. Well, my brother was listening to that once when I was home sick from school, and all I could remember was, class! You remember that, Claire? And that just was so jarring to me. And I know a lot of teachers will yell at their students and try and get them to cooperate and do what they want them to do. And again, I had a really different example set for me. I was a kindergarten helper. So in 6th grade, I got to go into the kindergarten classroom and help. And the kindergarten teacher would just sit down on the rug and sit quiet. And slowly the kids would come and sit around her and settle down. She didn't yell. She didn't even give them direction. She just sat there. And later, in Holmes Institute, they probably thought we were a bunch of kindergartners because I had that example set also by Reverend Dr. Linda McNamara. She would stand in front of the class and just wait for us to settle down and stop talking and pay attention. And to me, again, that's an example of giant gentleness. There's no need to yell. It's just being a big presence that is still very gentle. Hold on. See, we have all these fun issues. So this idea of how to be that kind of a presence was echoed for me. I was also a psychology major along with religion. And in there we were taught that positive reinforcement works better than punishment. And again, these were new ideas for me because I experienced plenty of punishment as a way to train me. But this idea of catch them doing something right was taught to us. This idea that if you can find that right thing and give it the positive reinforcement, you'll see that behavior increase. And to me, again, that's giant gentleness. It's watching, being a presence, being there, and reinforcing what we want to see. And this way of being is definitely something that I like. it speaks to me. It's how I want to be. And what I realized, especially even over this last couple of weeks, is that's not always how I am, and it's certainly not always how I am with myself. So Judy set us a beautiful example this morning. And the song that we sang during the prayer was perfect. I hold myself like a little baby child. How often do we do that? Do we hold our heart that way? And I realized that I don't do that. And if I make a mistake or what looks like a mistake, I can berate myself from here till the cows come home. And that is giving myself a licking, a mental licking. It's not loving. And so I have always been one of these people that wants to be good, a good girl. I wanted to get all A's. A's and B's were only acceptable in my house anyway. I always wanted things to be right. I wanted to be right. And so a few weeks ago, I made a mistake in one of my talks. And so I gave a shout out to the teaching chapter of the woman that I'd met in North Carolina and a group of people that apparently watch our talk. So hello again if you're watching. And I said they were from Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, that's wrong. I found out later that Reverend Kathy McConnon is from Charlottesville, Virginia. So that's where the teaching chapter is. So again, hello to all of you. But of course, I had made a mistake. So there I am kicking myself. And this is, that's not a life or death thing. But I'm kicking myself. I made a mistake. It's on a video. It's out there for everyone to see. And then I realized that I had spent a lot of time berating myself. Again, giving myself that mental licking. And then my next response to that kind of happening is I want to just hide and pretend like it didn't happen and hope it blows over. Can anyone relate to that response? Well, eventually, like the prodigal son, I get to a place where I get a grip on myself and I take myself home to the truth of who I am, my true nature. I fess up. I just let y'all know I made a mistake. If I need to, I'll ask forgiveness, whatever the situation is, and try and correct the situation. And so I have yet to fully celebrate myself when I do things like that. But it's a step in the right direction to be able to just honor myself enough to let someone know I've made a mistake, whatever that might be. Let's try and correct it. So how do you treat yourself when you make a mistake? What goes on inside of you? She's shaking herself like this. And how do you treat others when they make a mistake? A little different. Well, along those same lines, how we treat ourselves, how we treat others, this is the book that we're studying right now in the class that we're teaching, Mystic Path, and this is called The Mystic Heart by Wayne Teasdale. And in here, I read something that got me thinking, and I asked the class to think about it this week, and I'm going to bring that same question to all of you right now. And in here, he said, the moral dimension of the spiritual life is universal and unvarying in its essential outlines. It is recognized by all the great world religions as an indispensable part of the spiritual journey. It is simply not possible to live a spiritual or mystical life without this dimension. This is one reason why all religions, not only the major ones, but all of them, no matter how few people they serve, have a clear moral code that provides norms to guide human behavior. That's the piece that got me. A clear moral code that provides norms to guide human behavior. Barbara says we need that now. Well, my question was, in religious science, where is our clear moral code? And I'm asking you that because I asked the class, what do you think we have as a clear, do we have a clear moral code for human behavior? And what might that be? Love. Huh? Just love. Any other thoughts? Kindness. Compassion. She said, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, the golden rule. Any other thoughts? What is your moral code? Is that the key to it? Love and kindness and anything else? Non-judgment. Gentleness, respect, compassion, understanding, action. Move our feet. Integrity. All right, good. Lots of good words. Open heart. Open heart and open mind. Truthful. So I started thinking about this because when I think of a moral code that defines human behavior, I think of something like the Ten Commandments that's very specific. Thou shalt not do this, this, and this. And so I was thinking about religious science and what is it that we have as our moral code? Well, I thought love is definitely out there, definitely. But our key principle is oneness. And we are one with God and all creation. So it doesn't outline. All those words that you gave us are not an outline for what to do or how to do it. But it's a quality that we want to bring into our behavior and into our way of being. And it's based, and a lot of it rooted in this idea of oneness. Why do we love each other? Why do we treat each other with kindness? Because we're one with each other. So a deep and true understanding of our oneness guides us then in how do we treat others? How do we treat animals? How do we treat all of creation? How do we behave? If we are one with God, we are God expressing. How does God behave in this situation? What does that look like? I'm always asking, am I giving God a good time? What does that look like through me? And another principle that we live by that's connected, I think, is what you give, you receive. As you sow, so you reap. And that's the doing unto others. And why is that true? Because of oneness. It goes back to oneness again. What I put out there comes back. So I was picturing, I always go to the body as an example. And I was picturing, okay, we could say the heart gives blood to the toe. It gives blood to the brain. It gives blood to my hands. But then that blood comes back to the heart. It's a cycle. It's a circulation. It's not a one-way giving, so to speak, if we want to call it a giving. And we also say that God is love. So we're only giving from love. There's where the love comes from. That's what's expressing through us. And then as we give that out, that's what we receive back. And that was the key teaching. When Jesus was asked, what's the best teaching, the highest teaching, what is the most important teaching? He said, love your neighbor as yourself, love the Lord your God. And so love was the key and number one teaching. Ernest Holmes said, and this is from a Holmes reader on practical wisdom, compassion and caring are the ties that bind us together in mutual understanding and in the unified attempt to uncover the divinity in each of us. Compassion is the most gentle of all human virtues, for it is the outpouring of the divine givingness through all. So again, those are words that you all came up with too, that compassion, the givingness, and it's the divine in and through us. So in religious science, I think what we're doing is we're striving to deepen our understanding of this practice of oneness. Oneness with love and how that's going to express itself, what it's going to look like as it out pictures in the world. And in doing this, we don't really have a moral code that says you shall do this or you shall not do this. We see everyone as having the ability, when they connect in with their true nature, to figure out what behavior is appropriate in any given situation. And that's a little different for some people. For some people, that makes them uncomfortable. They would rather have it spelled out, well, you can't do this and you can do this. But I think we attract people to this teaching who want to be able to determine that as they deepen into their ideas of the principle behind oneness and love and kindness, compassion, all those things that you mentioned. And again, in this book, The Mystic Heart, Teasdale says that he calls this chapter Beyond Morality. And I think this speaks to what I was seeing in religious science. Living the spiritual life has a direct relationship to the formation of moral vision. As we grow in compassion, love, mercy, kindness, gentleness, wisdom, patience, and sensitivity, the means of ethics naturally extends beyond simply avoiding certain attitudes and actions. It assumes an interior nature that transforms society's moral code through spiritual wisdom. It becomes part of the consciousness of the individual mystic and not something externally imposed by society. So it's not the rules that we get imposed out there. Ultimately, the work of the individual enlarges the entire culture's moral understanding. It is often said that mystics are beyond morality. That does not mean they are free to act outside morality. The process of socialization inculcates in each person a moral code, with all its norms and expectations of human behavior, which better informs the individual consciousness. But we still need external moral norms and laws. Why? Because the whole aim of ethics and law is only fully achieved by the person who achieves an inner transformation in which they now act from love, compassion, mercy, and kindness. The supremely wise persons in whom this inner change has occurred no longer need an external ethics, a moral code, or even a legal system, but everyone else does. That's how he ends that. That was his words. But when I read that, it made me think about how it is that we live and teach and move in this teaching of religious science. And part of what I've always really appreciated is it's not telling me exactly how to behave, what to do, but it leaves it to me to do that inner work, to go into the silence with my maker, so to speak, with spirit, with God, and determine what's working for me and how I should behave. So I'm always asking myself, how do I want to be in this moment? Instead of reacting, maybe I'm angry or something, how do I want to be? I want to be that giant gentleness in that situation. And so we do that through our spiritual practice. We get to practice through meditation, contemplation, journaling or writing, prayer, silence. That inner transformation takes place, and that's what guides, that's our moral code for our behavior. So ultimately, I believe that the moral code in religious science can be summed up by going within and asking, do they need Lovin or a Lickin? What's really needed in this situation? And how do I get to that place that we're bringing loving, of love? Because we do know that giant gentleness is expressed through love, and it is love that always wins. And so it is. So where are my practitioners? There they are. I do want to share one more quote with you. Teasdale says, daily spiritual practice is the technology of inner change. So as we go into that spiritual practice of prayer, I'm going to just ask you to take a moment to go within. We'll take a little bit more time in that spiritual practice, centering in and just thinking about what is your moral compass? How do you determine your behavior in any given situation? And as we center into our oneness with Spirit and all that we call Spirit, love, wholeness, divine intelligence, the one mind, wisdom, as one with this, how do I move my feet? What behavior is appropriate for one who is God expressing in the world? Love expressing in the world? What brings about the results that I want to see in the world? And so we go within and listen to that inner spark of Spirit itself, life itself, love itself. Knowing we are not just one with, we are it expressing in the world. We are that place where love shows up. We are that place where divine wisdom is expressed. We are that place where divine action begins to move in the world. And so in gratitude, I connect in with this higher code, this moral code that is mine, that comes through a deep inspiration and connection with oneness, with knowing that each person I meet is part of the divine expressing. And so as I ask myself, what needs to take place, Lovin or Lickin in this situation, I know God, love, is always the answer. So I open my heart and mind to a deeper guidance, to a deeper awareness of how it is I bring love into any situation. I allow that giant in me to be gentle, compassionate, open-hearted, open-minded. So in gratitude of this awareness, in gratitude for this community where we practice oneness, where we practice love and being that light in each other's lives, my heart is filled with gratitude. And I know that as we fill up here together on Sunday mornings and during the week or online, we take that fullness of love and share it in the world. I see that world that works for all, that vision that we've been holding, knowing as we follow our moral code, love and oneness, it is so in the world. And so it is.
This is a Karen Drucker song. It's called Every Step is Holy. It's one of my favorites.
Every step is holy, every breath is life, every moment precious when held up to the light, every heart connected, each the face of God, grace has shown me. Every step is holy. Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious when held up to the light. Every heart connected, each the face of God, grace has shown me. Every step is holy. Holy, holy, everyone, every breath, every step is holy. Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious when held up to the light. Every heart connected, each the face of God. Grace has shown me. Every step is holy. Holy, everyone, every breath, every step is holy. Every step is holy.
Every step is holy.
Every step is holy. Every step is holy.
Every step is holy.
Every step is holy. Every step is holy.
Perfect as usual. Thank you. Every step is holy, and every breath we take, we are that holiness, that love that moves in the world. Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you for the work you put in. So now is that opportunity when we think about giving back to the center. But I want to start off by reading a thank you we gave last month to the Reading Center, and this is what we got. Thank you for being so kind. The first teacher from the Primer Maestro Program Coordinator is who signed this. She said, to our friends at the Center for Spiritual Living in the heart of Las Cruces, we are so grateful for your steadfast support. Because of dedicated donors like you, we're on a track to serve over 100 families with our free parental program this semester. Thank you for helping us make it all possible with your generous gift of $451 in March of 2024. So we're grateful from the Children's Reading Alliance. Yeah. And so that's part of this giving and receiving what we give, what comes into the center. 10% goes out to support another program and people within our community. And this month, we're shifting into supporting El Caldito. It's a soup kitchen, and it also is collecting food. And so, like we said earlier, we have a bin out there. It was being taken care of by someone out of the Unity community who is no longer wanting to do that or capable of doing that. So if we want to keep it going, we need someone to step forward. So if you're interested in helping to take food over to El Caldito, check it maybe once every week or two and bring the food. Let me know. Otherwise, we'll just not be able to do it because it starts to fill up and then the food sits there way too long. It's got to be unperishable, but still, there's still a time limit on cans, So anyway, we are looking at collecting food for them as well as we will be tithing 10% to them. El Caldito is not just a soup kitchen, it's a refuge. We serve hot, balanced meals to all who join us from Sunday through Friday. Takeaway lunches are available on Saturdays. On special occasions like Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, we go the extra mile with full traditional feasts. Our services are free, and the only entry requirement is a need for sustenance. Volunteers, fueled by community donations, make our operations possible. Our mission is to nourish the hungry one meal at a time in a safe and sanitary space. Our vision, we're committed to eradicating hunger by consistently offering nutritious meals to our community, aiming for a future where our services are no longer needed. So let's hold that vision as we continue to support them. 10% of all that comes in will go to support El Caldito this month. And so now let's just recognize our gratitude and say our gratitude prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, in me. And we'll sing, I am so blessed.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
And don't forget that our new bookstore coordinator, Teresa, is waiting for you with a gift in the bookstore after the service, so you can go in there and see what she's got in store. And we can stand and sing
Peace song.
the peace song today.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as a center, family all are we. Let us rock with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Be gentle with yourselves this week. See you all. Have a good week.
Oh, you should have done it. Just dance back here.